Evening.
Good evening.
How you doing, mate?
I'm very well, mate. You?
Yeah, all good.
You had a
Evening,
good
ladies
week?
and gentlemen. 25 company industry. We'll just talk a bit of summer every now and then. So notice the backdrop to me has changed. So currently over at the Koi Cafe down at Perfect Aquatics. So number of reasons for that. We're currently having a bit of a refurb in the shop, and to say that it's Baltic is an understatement, man. So Harry that works backstage is currently over there freezing himself, looking homeless with a blanket on and stuff. And I was like, sat there, I'm going to go and get in a comfy seat. So I thought I'd just change the surroundings so people that don't normally tune in or normally see us with all the Koi posters in the back and that get to see something else that we've got on site to offer if people want to come down and say hello. So yeah, hell of a lot going on. How's your day?
Busy, mate. Eh? Busy with all the changes and everything.
Oh, mate, it's yeah. So we're currently putting some new units in the shop. We've reduced the footprint of the shop, although not reduced any stock. We've just condensed it down a bit, and we've took some of the low hanging ceilings down, and it looks bigger than what it was. Got a new Koi counter, a new counter that's all been made up as well, so it's really freshened the place up. So
What about the area where you've got all the koi
yeah,
indoors?
yeah.
Is that having any changes there, or has it just been
It will.
maintained?
It's staying as it is for now, but as we go through in the phases, it will. Its next stage is basically the next stage is basically the Koi area. So yeah, it's all starting to look tickety boo. So fair few coming in. So Harry, if you can just start tweaking through some of the videos of what we've got on offer while people are joining us, mate. I've decided to put I think 10 fish in for today. We're starting off at Oyaji, and he is nice little Gin Matsuba. I love these little Gin Matsuba.
Just got rid of one.
Yeah.
Actually, just give me dad one today.
Really? Yeah.
Just took it out. It's only a little tiddler one, but I'd already got one. I gave one to Mike, Mr. Tropical Koi from Daz, and I've just given the other one to my dad. He lost a few with a pH crash, so I thought I'd give him a few of mine that I want to move on.
Well,
Okay. Little Tamasaba there.
So yeah, got a couple of Tamasaba in tonight. There's been quite high call rating for them. So with the fish that we've got on tonight, we've got Ayaji, Koda, Sakai Fish Farm, Odakan, NMD, Omasako, Ikarashi. So sort of taking you around the mountains a little bit today in Japan. Ranging from young 17, 18 cm Tozai.
That's nice.
I think that's probably one of two of the best fish tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, let's crack at that.
And then also, just lost my train of thought, 17 centimetres, going up to 29 centimetres. So a smaller on a few on the small Tozai to Ender Tozai, moving into Sanzai for next season. So
have a lovely holiday. Sorry, just waving to my son and his my daughter-in-law.
Happy holidays. Right, so we've got 40 odd people in. So
holiday. Enjoy.
That's the last fish of the night, which is an absolute banger of a tanky. So if we kick off the night, then we're going to kick off with a little tiny Gin Matsuba, fish number one for this evening. There we go.
So nice clean head on that, mate, hasn't it?
Yeah, super, mate. I've got a couple of these that I've kept out the back, actually separated out mid-season for auctioning. To be honest, for people that haven't got a nice Gin Matsuba in the pond, when these fish get big, I think they look absolutely exceptional. I personally had one at about 35, almost 40 cm, I would say. And the Heron took it a couple of years. and I've never replaced it yet, but it's on my shopping list. But when they get big, they do add a different sort of element into the pond because it's got nice blue.
They do. Each individual scale when they have those black dot, black dot, black dot, black dot all the way down them, it look mint, don't they?
Yeah, so we're going to start bids off on this at 30 cm if anyone's interested.
30 quid. Come on.
Before we get any further, just the rules. There is an added rule in for today due to temperatures, and I'll go over that in a sec. But the winning bid or the last bid on the screen, that will take the win when I call it. All you guys need to do is call the shop up tomorrow, make a payment over the phone, or you can come in to collect. Okay, either way, we'll take a payment. If you want delivery, it is an additional £25 fee. That is no cost to us. We earn no money out of that. That is literally the delivery fee, so you cover that cost. On top of that, as the temperatures are at the moment, the outdoor ponds here are at about 4 degrees this morning.
Yeah, mine 4.5, mate.
If you've got an outdoor pond at ambient temperature with no heating, I haven't got a problem shipping out to you. We're going ambient to ambient. That's not a problem. What I do have a problem with, though, is going from ambient to a heated pond. So the option is there for an overwintering service. It is a free service. Your fish will be cared for by the staff down here at Perfect Aquatics. And from there, I would expect everybody to collect their fish by the 1st of March. If it's an exceptionally cold winter, I will extend that, but I will review it closer to the time. So, right, the Matsuba then. So, Gin Matsuba, lovely metallic fish, fully scaled Begoi. You will see this fish has got a particularly nice little body for a tozai. So we're looking at the size of the head on this. Very big head. It's got a nice structure to the actual body frame, and everything is in proportion. So this is 30 quid. You ain't going to get anything like this for 30 quid anywhere. Looking at the fins are very well proportioned and extremely clean as well.
Big tail on it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually a nice little piece for a tozai. Now's the time to get them in your pond rather than introducing them into your spring. So it can settle down during these cold months. Fish ain't going to be as stressed moving around in cold temperatures because it's fairly balanced and stable temperatures. So, evening, Chris. Evening. So, if I don't see £30, then I will move it on. So I'm going to give that about a minute.
That surprised me. That I thought that would have had well, there you go. Shane Lewis is straight in on the Facebook group with a 30 quid bid. Nice one, Shane. Thank you very much.
Excellent, Shane. Little lad, I like to watch this one. So, like I said, guys, it's only a tozai. Sit in your pond, ambient temperature. Come spring, it'll be nice and active, ready to start yamming the food down. You're not going to upset the balance of your pond either, which is something that you've got to think about now. You're going to have no parasite troubles during temperatures like we've got now. So this is a real good time to introduce fish into your pond, believe it or not. So come the new season, the fish are happy with each other and the stress factors have already simmered down. So DT Koi got an auction fish off me. That I'll donate it to Gaz's charity that they're doing for cancer. And this is about the same size. Right, mate, I picked a few out from a batch I bought for auctioning. So, quality little fish. Still showing at 30 cm. But for me, when these fish get big, that's when you start to see.
They look a stunning fish seas when they get 60 plus. They look mint, absolutely gorgeous. They're a showpiece in your pond, one of these.
Okay, so I'm going to call that once then.
Fenland Lass, £32.50.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. Is that in, is it? Well, you get it before me, guys.
Dual monitors, mate, I got running on both, so it's...
That's cheap. That's very cheap. For Japanese fish. We actually Tozaive 17 cm, absolute banging little creature. You know, those people that like their single coloured koi as well, these are absolute stonkers. What could you expect in growth from it? I suppose, you know, in the right settings, you could get 70 centimetres on that, no problem.
35 from Shane.
When,
Dad, if you're
when,
watching, you've just got a lovely fish.
when these fish get bigger as well, what happens with the scale is that the scale really separates because it gets bigger, and you start to see the food cream. The food cream grows quite dark on these fish, so they look absolutely magnificent. And the scalation on these fish, which is where you're looking at the balance of the scales going down the actual spine of the fish, reticulation looks pretty bang on to me. No massive blemishes. The thing that makes this a good quality fish is how clean the head and the fin.
The head is, yeah.
Yeah, it's also not over dark for the size of the fish either and the age of the fish, which means that when this fish gets bigger, it's only going to develop and get better. Okay, remember this is only a young fish, guys, very young fish, and it's still got a lot of work to do. So Fenland Lassie at 37.50. Well done there, Fen. It's a good fish. With the Matsuba range, something that's worth looking at for those people that like the single is if you can get Akamatsuba, Ki Matsuba, and Gin Matsuba all together.
They look stunning, don't they?
They look mental, mate. They really do. There's a guy that I know that's got nothing but single coloured fish in his pond. And the good thing about the single coloured fish, because they're fairly close to sort of like the normal sort of strong bloodline, they don't tend to suffer as much with parasites and disease because they're not so interbred.
Yeah.
They also, all of them tend to do really well in size as well. So you haven't necessarily got to look at the genetics so much and the parent lines of where these come from. So, you know, if you can steer away from the Go Sankey range, the Kohaku, Sankey, Showa, and some of like the Benny Kikos and things like that, you'll find that you get a really different pond of decent sized fish as they get older. So
the scalation that this has got, as you look through from the leading tip of the dorsal all the way through, it's got a nice little pattern of lines and it follows true all the way through, and that will be seen again in another Akamatsu that comes up. The scalation on these is what you want to be picking. That nice cluster as it starts at the beginning that follows it all the way through down its body and keeps in nice true lines without running and squiggling off. This is pretty good. It's a pretty good scalation pattern to it. Looks nice. It'll look good when it's bigger.
This year there hasn't really been many Matsuba out on the market.
No.
Quite surprising. So it is a nice fish to add to your collection. And this one in particular is very good.
Yeah.
So, but Fen's out, so as it was a 2-horse race, I'll give that to you, Shane, at 40 quid. Well done, my friend. That's a very good little purchase.
There's a bag in that.
So that was 40.
I'm Shane at 40 quid then.
Shane. Beautiful. Okay, Shane, just remember, give us a call or down at the store tomorrow. Just so you're aware, you may or may not be asked what the fish was, depending on who picks the phone up. If they do ask what the fish was, can you please give the reference number? Reference number for your fish, mate, is PA, Perfect Aquatics PA, 2501. So the 25th fish number 10. All right, mate? So that's perfect. I'm hoping that these lights stay on in the cafe, otherwise it's going to be really dark. So, second fish for tonight. Everybody's been calling out for
Look at that.
another little Tamasaba. I'm not going to harp on about this too much. I've done it time and time again over the last couple of auctions. Starting bid 20 quid, guys. This is a Japanese Tamasaba from the breeder NND, who I'm told is really concentrating hard this season for these. Kohaku fish, Nice in a tank, nice in a pond. Quite like the fact that there's quite a lot of Benny on this fish for 20 quid. Real good Shiroji. It is a male. However, if you've got female, I promise you, you'll be breeding your own. So Koi Man UK is in at 25 and Lucky Will. 14 cm, it's not the biggest one that we've got, but I promise you, you throw food down this mouth and you will end up with something that resembles a pumpkin with a tail.
Yeah, the fish of the future. These are going to be in everybody's pond. You watch.
I think so as well, mate.
I do, mate. I really do. I think before long, come next season when we're at the koi shows and all that lot, they'll be having these there. They'll be in there and everybody will be interested in them. 35 for William.
Well, put it this way, mate. I've had a client call me up after seeing the Tamasaba coming on the auctions. He's asked me how easy it is to get hold of these. It's not exceptionally easy to get good quality Japanese ones. However, I've managed to get hold of NMD directly, and he is buying or he is building a grow-on pond just for
some of them.
Just Tamasaba.
I think Daz is interested in getting some as well. Right, Daz?
Well, he needs to come and see me if he is.
Yeah, get some sorted.
Yeah, well, so NMD is where I'm going again for next season. So we will be getting more. But again, this one male, good Kahaku, real good Benny quality, good Shiroji quality. And the Kiwa is mental on this fish. It is, because the pattern's all over the shop, which I quite like, it gives it character. What you tend to see, the Kiwa, it goes so all over the place, looks like the edge of a map or the edge of a piece of land on an atlas. I quite like the way that the Benny wraps around the tail, and I also like the fact that no Benny leaks.
Pure brilliant Shiroji throughout all its fins, man. That looks mint. And a nice little stop, what you could consider the peduncle, so to speak.
I mean, what you've got to remember is it's the white that's actually the pattern on these fish.
It's not the red.
So the bit that makes this quite a nice fish is that the Shiroji follows around the base of the dorsal fin and then opens up into the tail, if you can call it a tail.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
You know, for me, that's good. And as that fish gets bigger and fatter, because that's
Koi 50.
It's good. It's going to look quite an immense fish, especially through a window. You know.
And if you look at this, this is probably something that you might have all missed. If you look just above each eye, it's got a little bit of a blue at the top of both eyes. Yeah,
it's nice. It's got two red eyes as well, which I don't think takes away from it. You know, it's not a kahaku. It's a fish, a goldfish, and Lloyd's Koi's leading away on 50 quid. I personally have got one of these in the pond, and I will be adding to it next year. They're just comical, you know, and they're actually quite. Because they've got different movement and the way they like boss around the pond, they sort of take your eye away from the koi sometimes as well. It's quite nice to have, I think. So Lloyd's Koi going with 50. I need 55 to keep this one in the race.
Come on, guys! These fish go for way more than this, and it's worth way more.
They're worth a lot more than this as well, to be honest. But
yeah,
you know, I've started it young because if you know, the chances are people don't want it, someone's going to get a bargain. So if not, I'll let you guys decide what they go for. You know.
Evening, Frank.
I know it's nearly Christmas, but think of this, guys. Right? So I'm just looking through the comments. Why not buy each other a fish for Christmas?
Yeah, Marie.
Right, you know, it's like they can be bought and they can be collected. We are open the day after Boxing Day, or even Christmas
from William.
Come down.
There we go.
You know, so if you want a little early Christmas present, or if Santa brings you a fat wedge of cash, come down and spend it at our shop, man. We'll look after you.
Yeah. I will, Dave. I will be having. I think I will be having a couple of these. Yeah. I think they're mint. I think they're different, man, and I just like them.
Mate, they add a little bit of character into it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call that a go in 1 cent. So if you're still in it, Lloyd's, get a bid in for me, dude.
Franklin Coy says, "What size do they grow to?" They can grow up to about 30, 35 cm.
Yeah, they get big and they turn into what would resemble a mini football.
Yeah.
That sort of size is, if you look at Rickett Koi Wholesale, it's got one that he calls the Beast, and that's about 27 cm at the minute and just going into year 3. So it's mental, mate. It's so big. They also look a little deformed, but they're just mad. So looking for 60 then.
Yeah. Shocked face.
Yeah. Well, imagine 50 of these swimming powerlip round in your pond, mate, and they all get
I think they are. I think they're just something about them. I mean, I do quite like the fancy goldfish myself. There is a couple of them that do look a bit weird, but I do think these are quite nice. I do think they're an attractive fish. I heard Jeff Lee's got one to 8 cm in his pond. 80 cm.
80 cm. Imagine that.
That'd be one big beach ball, that, wouldn't it?
Mate, look like a space hopper with a tail.
It would.
So that's going twice then, guys.
Everybody want to sneak in and snipe it away from William? Let's have your shot fired off. Quick, quick.
Okay, last call. And sold to William.
There you go, mate. Well done. Yeah, Daz just said he is interested in having some of these. We're going to get some of these going. Oh, Craig, just too late, mate, with your 65.
Oh, Craig, mate.
Unlucky, son.
Where are you?
You want to aim before the person.
Okay. Can you just check on Facebook, Harry, mate, to make sure that it's broadcasting on there, mate, please? I should imagine it is, looking at the numbers. Again, Will, congratulations, mate. Nice time to sub for 55 there, mate.
Look, the size of the mouths. Sorry, it was still up on my second screen then, but the size of the mouths is exceptionally big. They'll take a 6mm pellet easy, no messing them.
Mate,
them.
they're all own in there. Ricky's big one has been swimming around in his like what he calls his big one. Cheers, Harry. In his big pond with some of his like 78 cm koi. Mate, and it's like not asked. It gets in there to try and get there first. And all sorts. Gets knocked all over the shop because
it was cheap.
Well done, mate. That's good. I appreciate that. Up to 76 viewers tonight. That's a good turnout again, considering the time of the year. I'm going to move on to something that I think is quite lovely. Actually, it's right up my alley.
This is something different, this, mate, isn't it?
Those people that don't know me, I quite like all koi, and more so the last couple of years, I've started to turn my attention more towards the Aragoki. So looking at the Matsuba last week with the like fully big scales, we come across this, and this was out of a Coda batch that I had this year. Again, because I'm a little bit of a crafty one, I'll put a few fish aside, and I wanted to see where they would go. So we put about 6 cm on this fish without really trying. If I'm honest, I only come in. I've got a batch of 10 to 12s from Coda, and I kept a few back just to grow them up. Now, for me, this Aragoki looks extremely what I would expect to be along the lines of a Ginrin Deutz Goshi. It looks like it's got all of them traits. So the bit for me that looks real good on this fish is the gin in the zipper line down the back of the fish. The Benny pattern, the Benny is of a great quality, and this fish has darkened over time to a point where you can see the robing coming up and over the shoulders. So robing is like a dark outline of the scale that would be there or should be there. So this fish, from an extremely good breeder, specialises in metallics, Coda. He does some fabulous goshki, which is why it makes me feel that this fish is like a Deutz variety of that. So I would expect this fish to darken up over time, which would only really enhance the belly in the fish. The head will go black. So as you see that little belly patch above the left eye, the colour will darken around that, and you'll have a nice little red patch on the head, nice red body across the shoulders, and then nicely balanced out into the tail. So as that fish darkens out, the gin will really stand out, the belly will stand out, and the black will really help it push. So for me, quite an interesting prospect to grow out, throughout next year. And it'd be quite nice to see where this fish goes. The other thing you can see is that it's got what would resemble like a tetramet in the actual
in the pecs,
and a very nice streak of sumi going through the rays in the tail. So
if they continue to develop, that'll look nice, won't it?
Yeah, it's a different fish, and the Aragoki, they're becoming more and more attractive. And there's a breeder out in Japan that has literally dedicated a whole season to Aragoki. So
the golden dragons.
Them fish will start to hit the UK next year. I know where we can get them. I haven't bought any yet, but only time will tell what I'll do, to be honest. These fish are looking more and more attractive as the years start passing, and that is only ever really backed up by the fact that the Japanese now are realising there's a market in Europe for these and starting to breed them out. What do you reckon, Gaz?
I like them, mate. I mean, I've since messing around and doing those bits and bats down at Daz's, both me and Daz have been more switched on to the Aragoki scaling on the fish, and we've seen them develop, well, not developed, but we've seen them and watched them develop and seen how good they look when they do. When the colours start coming up on them, they do pop. And I think with the Aragoki scaling, it just makes them look that little bit different. It's something else, isn't it? And that's what I like. That's me all day long. If I were going to have a fish, I want it to look different, and that certainly definitely does, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a show fish.
No, it's not, but it's a different looking fish. You're not going to go and see that kind of fish anywhere else, are you? It's a different little piece.
Quite a spectacular little bit. I didn't have any more with the guinea scale like this. And that's why that fish didn't make it to public sale in the actual like proper season, if you like. But another 15, 20 cm on this fish, and it will just look totally different.
It will, yeah.
As them scales get bigger as that fish grows, that's only going to intensify the look of the fish. And I think that this is definitely one of those pond fish that will take a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But it looks like Dave's out on his own here, though.
It does. It doesn't seem like anybody else is interested in. But you mark my words. Come watch. You watch this. Come next year, next season, and the seasons to follow. There's going to be more Aragoki koi on the scene than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah.
It is. Me and Dad said it. Not last season. The season before, we saw the odd one or two, and we were like, "Wow, look at them! Look at them for something different." And then you get this coming up. Double rooking.
Oh, hey, Jack, hello.
Jack as well. 55, Darren Whitehead for a 60.
So
it's something different, and it is.
I
think it's going to be again another thing that's going to be more on the koi scene.
That vision of where it's going to go.
Yeah.
At the moment, again, I'll say, like I said in the last but one fish, it's very young. It's still got a lot of development. It's still got a lot of body building to do. And when that fish gets bigger, it's going to look magnificent. I mean, I'm not talking biasly because I'm really attracted to this type of koi.
Yeah.
The thing for me is the scale on this. It's fairly clean down the flanks, and it demands all the attention down the top. But because of that high quality gin that's in it, as that scale gets bigger with the fish,
it's just going to be little discs of silver just sparkling on top of it, set over that bene behind it, and then the sumi all wrapping around it. It's going to look sweet.
So Darren Whitehead is out. Thank you, Darren. Well done, mate. Currently sat with double Ryukin at £70. Come on, Jack, you know you want this fish, mate. I ain't seen you for a while anyway. Your Sankey is ready for collection as well, mate.
Jack's there at 75.
Jack's back in 75. This bloke is a proper geezer, mate. I love him to bits. You know, it comes in the shop, you know, now and then, and he even bought me some vape last time, which was proper good stuff, mate. Not the stuff that makes you like, it's just real.
85 double Ryukin again.
Beautiful. So just looking at that one there, mate. Nice car in the profile pic, by the way.
Yeah,
So
nice
21
water.
BK King. Absolutely gorgeous. Couldn't agree more, mate. It's one of them fish, mate, that you come across once in a while. And like I said, for me, when that head blackens up and that belly patch pokes out, the character's going to start building.
Yeah.
But good size head. I ain't really spoke about the profile of the fish. For a Deutz
Body, I mean, it's body's cock on, isn't it? You couldn't
Yeah,
ask for a better shape to it.
for a Deutz fish especially, you know, it's got a very good profile. You could hit easily 70 cm with this fish, being a Deutz. You know, for me, it's going to be a banger. But, so any more on 85 quid? I think that's a very fair price for that fish, guys. So, you know, but I will say it again. It's going to be a fish that comes hard and fast. You're not going to find that sort of fish very often anywhere.
No.
I don't believe. So I'm going to call that one set. And I like the name Ryukin. That's a good name.
Can we interest you in some Tamasaba?
And that sold to double Ryukin for £85. Well done, mate. That's I think that's a fair price, dude. That.
Evening, Aaron. Good evening, Nero. I think, yeah, nice fish that, mate. I think that'll look good, that, when it gets some good size to it. Get it on some heat, feed it some colour, watch it grow.
Yeah, I'd
Keep
like
banging.
anybody that anyone that buys of us. I'm always interested on where they go, what they look like. So you know, I can learn from them fish as much as you guys do.
Yeah.
You know, it'll help me. 'Cause I have a vision of where it's going to go. I'd like to see where it ends up.
Yeah, see what you think's right.
The hell out of you, you know. So, just a couple of shout outs. Phil from Telford Coy, welcome along, mate. Thanks for that.
Phil.
We've also got Hamburg Coy, Aaron and his boy as well, no doubt.
Little Leo.
Friend of the shop. But Darren Whitehead, good evening to you, mate. Jack, one thing I want to know is Hazel watching with you. I don't want you two bidding each other up tonight. Him and his missus, they've actually bid each other up on fish before. Because they both.
Who's that? Jack and his missus?
Jack and his missus Hazel, they both own their own koi. So sometimes they both like them and they both want to buy it. So they bid each other up to actually.
Is it a shared bank account as well?
No, I think Jack pays for it.
Oh, Jack. She is watching as well.
Yeah, I thought she would be. So,
Good evening, Alan.
Granddaddy takes in the house.
Yeah. Papa
Thank you,
Tate.
Granddad. Well, it's going to have a little wet because my throat's a bit dry. Okay, an absolute stonker of a fish next. And we've got.
See, they just make you smile, don't they?
Well, mate, the character. Look at the big white eye on the side of that. That one's red. So, starting bid on this one
20 quid.
is 20 quid. I've made a mistake on that, so just bear with me.
200 quid.
Is that all? Right, guys, I expect to see 20 quid on there before when I put my head up again, because I tell you, this fish is worth 20 quid of anyone's money.
Oh, 100%. There we go. Mr. Whitehead straight in there with his 20 quid bid. Good man. Going for a steal here, does.
I'm just updating the winning spreadsheet.
Jackson at 25.
Right, looking at this fish then, why is it Why is it in the auction bay? I'll tell you why. Some people like a little bit less Benny and a little bit more Shiroji. I've already nicknamed this fish Lips because it's got lovely coochie Benny on the lips itself. And if you look at the pattern is very well balanced for the Kahaku type fish. You've got a red patch on the eye, you've got a red patch on one of the flanks, you've got a red patch in the middle of the back, and then a red patch on the tail. It's actually quite a well balanced fish. It has got sumi development in it, in the tail, in the back, and on the shoulders, and a little bit in the face. A little
bit on the lip as well, yeah.
And the lip. So, again, without a lot of experience on this, although be it they tend to follow the same traits as what koi do, I would say that this this sumi is going to develop even more and give it another added characteristic. So, you know, again, extremely lively.
A little plump one as well.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a male. It's unsexed, but I think it's a male. Again, one of them sort of fish that you should have in your pond if you haven't got one already.
Vince.
Slightly different fin structure on this one as well. They're quite curved fin on the fin ray. They're quite swept back. Doesn't detract away from the quality of the fish. It just gives it another characteristic. I quite like it. It's a short fin as well, which some people have preference over. For me, I think if I'd have put all of the Tamasaba together that I've sold over the last few weeks, I'd be super happy with the ones that I've put on auction. That'd be a nice little pond of fish, you know. And if you haven't got any, a good starting fish to get a couple more after.
And not only do we like him, so does Mr. Tate, because he's asked Crafty to see if he can get hold of him for him in some Suri patterns.
This is true. He wants to judge on them. Sorry, Alan, I'm letting all your secrets out the bag here, mate. I'll look after this.
I just made it up.
No. But 35
there is just something with him. I agree. There is just something with him. I think they're weakening me.
Yeah, they're quite. It's the character, mate. They all command a character, believe it or not. I can't find.
They're almost like a cartoon koi.
Yeah, they look like Tony Farmoy. He's actually. I think this is a bit too cheap, guys, for 35.
Oh yeah, definitely. This needs someone else slapping in a 40 quid bid or a 45 quid bid. This can't go for that low.
I'll let you into a little secret, guys. I'm losing money on 35 quid. Just so you know. Not that I care, because if it goes, it goes. It's the risk we take, you know.
Come on, Daz. You got to be in it. There we go.
Back with Daz then at 40 quid. That's a nice fish, mate, 40 quid as well.
Michael Thompson, just too late. Stick another one, a quick sneaky one in there at 45.
Okay, 16
CM. 45, there we go.
Okay, guys, so there is an error on the ticker at the bottom. It's a Tozai, not on this side. So there is an error on that. It's a Tozai. 45 back with Wheels. Wheels already had one tonight, I think. So
we got Lloyd's Koi was 45 before him.
Whoa, let's have a look.
Lloyd's Koi was a 45 before him. So if you're interested, William, you need to up it to 50.
We are only fair. It's the one that comes up first, guys. We've got to maintain the standard. All right, no favouritism. So, but again, 50 quid is an exceptionally good price for these fish.
Let's face it, guys, you can go out there and you'll buy a normal goldfish at 20 quid. You know, not anything like these type of goldfish.
Not something that comes from Japan by a Japanese breeder.
Yeah.
You know? For those people that have seen Lee Hadfield's video, I think there was one going there for £3,200. You know, and that's for a goldfish, Tamasaba. That's how much you know, they're sought after.
Cheers,
Japan. So William Willis is back in with 50. Good bid that, Will. Looking for 55. I'll take £2.50 increments if it's going to mean that you want to have another stab at it.
Come on, Lloyds. £52.50.
The good thing on this fish, for me, it looks like the backbone, like the chunky part, like the hump, is really well developed and round. So I think, with my limited knowledge, I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert on these. I'm not, but talking to Rick and how they go, that the way that bit around the dorsal fin is so prominent, it should really body out. So, I think there's a good chance that this fish will be a bit of a, shall we call it a Quasimodo, but a hench version. That's his
been on right.
At 50. Lloyd's Koi, if you're in still, can you let us know with a bid? If not, just let us know if you're out, please, mate. And then I'll move on. Okay, going to call it going once.
Evening, Clive.
Clive is clearly from outer space.
And this is a toe sign, not a knee sign, as you said earlier as well, just so you know.
There's an error in that. The lips does this fish, like for me, the reason why I nicknamed it lips, it's that bit. Imagine when that fish gets bigger. Big flat head, big bright red lips with a black streak in it. Give you a smile every day of the week.
As he's bullying your 70 cm koi out at way. Shift. I'm having some.
And I do, mate. That's why I like
it. I do, yeah.
So I go in twice then.
Evening, Tarkov.
Evening, Tarkov. I'm going 3 times. That's sold to William Willis for £50. That's his second of the night. Well done, mate. Just to remind everybody, I have had a message saying that I've won a fish. How do I pay? So if you can pay by ringing the shop tomorrow, you can see the number of the store flash up along the bottom. If you ain't got a pen to hand now, don't worry. It is on YouTube, or you can find us on Facebook, or you can find us on the internet, www.perfectaquatics.com, and look at the contact us tab. All the telephone numbers will be there, mate. So, what am I doing in here? 50 quid in there.
Do you think that Tarkov's a gamer? Escape from Tarkov?
I reckon so, mate.
Yeah, me too. It's a good gamer. Hard as hell.
I've just got the new COD, so I'm proper late night in it at the minute.
You're late night in it all night, yeah? I might have to buy it then. I'll have to jump on and join you.
It is good. Right, halfway through then, guys, the next fish is an absolute stunner. So 85 people in. Before I go into what this fish is all about, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give us a like, share it as well. So as you know, the likes of Koi Wholesale have stopped doing their auctions now. I'm going to continue these on. I enjoy them. Not only that, but the fish are going at a good, reasonable price. This is a Stag Farm banger.
This is the perfect two-step Kahaku. I'm sorry, but it is. That's mint.
Again, only Tozai. It is
29-30 cm. That's a good size for a Tozai.
Yeah, into the new season is moving over into Nisai. If I'd have kept this fish on heat,
it is clean.
It would have really, really grown loads. I can't afford to do that down at the shop everywhere, but this is a very high quality piece.
Yeah.
When I say that, it's not got a blemish on it. The belly is absolutely banging all the way through this fish. It is a highly sought after pattern type, being a two-step. Very decent sashi on this fish. Kiwa is of good standard. It will tighten up and it will get better on the basis that this fish is only Tozai. Is it a show contender? I believe so.
Yeah, I think it would
But
be.
you've got to body the fish up and you've got to develop it. Right, so it will be a challenge, but those people that like to show, don't overlook this because the Shroji and the Benny quality of this fish is second to nobody. It is an absolute banging example.
Nice clean horseshoe on the nose, isn't it?
It has. There is
Around the
a
eye, just between the eyes, no, nothing over it. That's
blue eyes as well.
blue eyes as well, cock on.
When you look at into the dorsal, there is a little bit of Benny that leaks into the dorsal. Let me make
But it
it
follows
clear.
the pattern, doesn't it, on the second dam? So
It does. It follows and it doesn't break all the way through. So you've still got a white sheen going down the tip of, like right at the top of the dorsal is where your technicals are, and it's still there. So that won't actually demerit it whatsoever. So fins extremely clean, well in proportion. And if this
can't
goes
believe
through
this.
20
Can't believe
years,
this is not just going bid.
me neither, man. For how simplistic this fish is, it makes it even a good start in Kahaku for
Yeah.
showing, because you've not got all the technicalities to try and get everything right on more dams. So, you know, but if it goes for 120 quid, it'll go for 120 quid.
Come on, somebody must want to steal this off a Jack for 125, surely.
I'd like to think so. Where's it going to go? Sakai is the name of the game. It's a big body. You can see the length of the backbone between the back of the head and the tip of the dorsal fin. I will point that out all the time. That is exactly where you would want it to go, which shows how much of that fish has got, how much development in the flesh of the shoulders that can come in this fish. It is going to be a monster. It's tapered extremely well. The profile is high class.
What do you reckon? Male?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to guess it, mate. If I'm honest, too young, and I haven't looked. But again, buy it for someone for Christmas. I'll put it in a bag with air.
There we go,
I'll
Scott.
put you some water in.
Nice one.
Come and collect it Christmas Eve. They can open Christmas morning. It'll be fine. So 130, Scott Anderson. I'll tell you what, Scott. Scott has seen these. He was in the shop yesterday, so he knows what he's looking at. Don't let it go for this price either. It's a Sakai.
Yeah.
What I will say,
Myself.
Koi Wholesale put
Sakai,
this on their
two-step,
channel.
mint.
If Koi Wholesale put this on their channel for auction, it would fly.
Yeah, and it'd have
This
already
is what I
started.
did.
It would have started way higher than that as well.
Yeah.
Just remember, guys, that this is Koi Wholesale stock. It's the same fish that they would be auctioning.
With Jack at 135. Have you got Kahaku, Daz?
I have two. I've got one from your grow on, and I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
well, I've just got a new one from Mr. Jeffleys, and I've got a little Deutz Kahaku from New Forest Koi, which is mint, mate. That's a cracker.
I haven't had many Deutsch Kahaku down the shop this
No.
year, so I'm looking at that for next year, actually.
I like them, me. They're good. I'm more of a fan to the Deutz than the scales. But yeah, crazy, isn't it? Everybody's gone to all the trouble to get these scalations perfect, and now everybody prefers 145 from Scott. Everybody prefers Deutz. Slower growers though, and I know it's not going to get as big, but in a pond like mine, I don't really need it to get big.
No, technically, mate, this fish is absolutely banging.
150.
For someone that can get this into a heated pond,
Yeah,
throw some sake down its neck, I promise you, just looking at the bone structure on this fish,
this will be
being
50
Sakai
cm
fish,
next year.
oh, mate,
Easy.
you'll get that 45, 50 easy next year, you know, with the right feeding
Michael
ratio.
Thompson's 150 again, but that's a double bid.
Michael Thompson in with another fiver there, mate. Well done.
155. Nice one, Michael. Thank you.
The other thing to bear in mind on this fish, that the Benny quality, and on the Benny plate, what they call the Benny plate, which is the colour, Benny is the base plate on this fish. It's the white that's the pattern. I'll say that again, because although it's like a reverse negative in your head, right, with this, the base colour being the Benny plate, it is even all the way through. And as that fish opens like that, you will see more of the shiroji start to appear from behind the eyes into the shoulders as that fish turns yonsai and you get body on it. That is what really brings the attention and the learning game in Kohaku as well. You see the changes as the body develops. It's something else, and I've learned that fairly rapidly down at the shop this year, looking at how the Kohaku differ from year on year with bigger bodies and how the belly plate sits. If you reverse engineer it, looking at yonsai going down to tozai, you see how that body shrinks round. The belly wraps around the fish.
That's Scott Anderson, 200 notes.
And that,
Nobody wants a fish.
That again is still nowhere near where this fish should be, unfortunately. But it looks like Lucky Jack, an absolute bargain of a price, even at 200 quid. If you reverse engineer a big fish back to a tozai, when you're looking at Kohaku that are quite well sort of the high quality in a young tozai, you can imagine that body fins off and then tapers round. The pattern goes with it. So if you can imagine as that fish opens,
as that body fills up and lifts round,
and then
it's going to come up around it, and the shiroji surrounding it then is going to make it look mint.
They call it framing the pattern. You know, so if you concentrate just behind the head, you'll see the shiroji will kick in around the back. It look real smart, this fish. But if there's no more takers, Michael Thompson, if you're still in, put a bid in, please, mate. If not, let me know you're out. I'm going to call it going once. Wills, man. Right. Don't be confused, mate. This is a simplistic fish. Just know it's red and white, mate, and it'll get bigger, dude. You'll be all right.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. So that is sold to Scott Anderson then for 200 sheets. This bloke has my eyes out all the time.
He played that quite well, didn't he, there, though, to be fair?
Somebody
plays poker.
So Scott Anderson bought the big Aragoki in our pond, the one in our main pond. And I must admit, I probably let it go too early. And I probably could have sold it about 900 times since he bought it. I could have sold it for twice as much as what he paid as well. You know, that's the thing. You've got to be in it to win it. And
yeah.
Good catch up one, Scott, mate. Will's Koi, nice fish. Humber Koi, it's a banger that. I agree.
That is a nice fish. That'll look well.
Well done, Scott, from the DT Koi. Clive, yeah, lovely. I'll tell you what, I probably should have held on to that one until after Christmas, really, when people have had Fat Santa visit.
The fat man's been and calling him, and everybody's got the first pay packet again.
Well, I mean, he's put a few shreddies in your stocking, but yeah, it's what it is. Right, on to the final Tamasaba of the evening then. So this has clearly got William Willis's name written over it.
Yeah.
Slightly different, this one. Again, Tozai. I'm hoping that's what it says. No, it's this side. Tozai again. So there's my error on here. Is it my error? Yeah, my error. I didn't change it on our spreadsheet. So the Showa variety, again, follows the traits. If you look under the skin, you will see.
You can see it, can't you, coming up around it, just to right hand side of body there.
Yeah, and when I had these fish brought in, the shiroji was really down in these, and for me it was like a bit of a learning curve where they was going to go. I didn't know if the shiroji would thicken up and it'd take over, and I was assured by Rick at the time that the Sumi will push through, and lo and behold, it has only just started coming through the last 4 weeks. So this is, if you'd have seen this fish 4 weeks prior to that, there was small signs that it was coming, but not on the scale that you see it now. So it says to me that the Sumi progresses quite quickly when it starts to come. I need people to have a forward vision in the pattern on this as well. So if you can see where the small Sumi spots are forming, look under the skin, the darker areas.
Yeah,
what
you
you're
can
gonna
see them, can't you?
in a finished fish, which will also bring a hell of a lot of a new sort of vision of what this fish will look like. Bring that sumi in, and that shiroji gets broken up. But the sumi on this fish is actually in all of the right places.
Yeah.
You haven't just got one dark spot. It is split over 5 or 6 different areas in the fish. I quite like it myself.
It is.
There it is, Will. Sumi is black, mate. Benny is red, sumi is black, shiroji is white.
Best saying of the night, that's going to be a Bobby Dazzler.
Yeah, Clive like that as well.
Going to look a good one, is that?
You know, let's look at the quality that we can see, though. So the Benny's a very good, strong Benny. Very red. Again, in the right places. Spot on either side of the flank and then in the tail tube. So the balance in the pattern is there. You've also got the nice black for Will. The black Motoguru, although it does look a little bit like Tejame in this, but I dare say that will block out some. And if it does, it's more like what you're seeing in the tail fins, what I would expect to see in the pec fins. So again, just adding that little bit of element of joy into that fish. 40 quid is still too cheap though, guys. I want to see this go up.
It is, man. What happened to William? Come on, William. This could be a trio.
I'll tell you what,
Mr. White, 10.45.
Well done, mate. Aaron at McCoy, he makes a good point. So yeah, Subo Sumi at that, which is highly sought after, black on white. It's there. Jack's in at 50. Well done, mate.
We're going to get William take a sniping shot again.
Most every night, everyone tonight. But make sure you keep your wedge in your back pocket, mate. Come down and see us. 50 quid then, guys. Any more for any more? Anybody else? Darren, you was in on this one, mate.
See, there you go, William. There you go, 55. He's in. He's back. And Will's koi. The more I see these, I'm thinking, shall I? See, these are the fish that are going to grow on people, and these are 100% going to end up. You watch every YouTuber before long. Apart from a few which might be called twisted koi, won't be having one of these because he don't know which is worse, these or butterfly koi. But I reckon we're going to start seeing a lot more of these, and when YouTubers start sticking them out there, everybody's going to have them. Everybody's going to get them in the pond.
I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll put a video, the one up on my pond. I'll put it up on Facebook, Perfect Aquatics Facebook page. Have a tune into that. I'll put it on my Crafty Koi Facebook page as well, and probably a little short on YouTube because I'm all over the place. I'll even post it on Gaz's Facebook page. So if you ain't, or I'll let him share it on his YouTube page as well. Then, so
yeah.
If you ain't a subscriber, guys, hit the subscribe button. We do as well.
One, yeah.
Again, guys, think of forward the process of the development. Where you're seeing the black wheel, which is called Sumi, imagine that black being in ink blots, right? Because that's what's going to happen to the fish. Where you're seeing it will definitely come, and you may just get a little bit more around the back end of the tail on the right-hand side of the fish, or the left-hand side as we're looking at it now, right? That is going to look an exceptional piece in time. Patience is the name of the game.
Yeah.
What was that show? It's the name of the game. You remember that?
Oh, God.
That's taking me. I'll show me age.
You are a bit older than me. William Willis says is out.
Okay, so I'm going to
Jack's
call it
got
what
that at
then.
60 quid.
Darren White, Eddie is still in, mate. Or, no, you said you're out.
We got an out on Darrow's as well. You see, I see how Jack's playing this. Put a real serious profile picture on with some pair of shades.
Mate, I tell you,
little pause looking as if to say 60 quid.
Jigs has got me, man. Typical squaddy. ABBA. That's who it is. I am showing my age, mate. There'll be people on here like Aaron that won't even know what that means.
It is that very as well.
I actually
Generation game from Mr. Webb. That's what it was, the generation game.
Welcome along, Mr. Gary Webb.
Oh,
Okay, so don't
sorry,
looks like
Jack.
that may have simmered out a little bit, so I'm going to call that going once. If you're in £2.50 to have a stab. If not, then I'm going to let it sell at 60 quid, unfortunately. Jack's just come back and said he was at a funeral.
Yeah, it was at a funeral. It's like, get both feet in, I think, as if I try harder.
As long as it weren't your own, Jack, that's all that matters, mate. Okay, going twice then. What do they say? All's fair and, what do they say? Fair warning or something? I don't know. I watched that program where they said all the shit in the trailers that's clearly staged. break that lock. Whoa!
Oh, yeah. And the guys that stood outside that auctioning it off a million miles an hour. 6?
Cash. It's like load of shit, isn't it? And that's sold then to my man Jack. Be good to see you again, Jack, mate. We're not closed, by the way, when you come down, Jack. We're having refurb work.
Storage hunters, yeah.
So, again, for those people that have won tonight, just so I can let you in on the secret of paying the bill, give us a call on the telephone number that you can see scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and we'll make a payment, or you can make a payment to us. You can
tomorrow, mate, Jack says.
Nice one, Jack. Look forward to it, mate. You can either collect the fish like Jack is tomorrow, or we can have it delivered to you. But we will only deliver if you're outside ponds at ambient temperature. If you're heated, we can offer you an overwintering service free of charge, and we'll expect you to collect that fish by or on the 1st of March or around that sort of time. If it's still really cold, we can then look at extending that and play it a bit by ear closer to the time. So well done, people, so far. Really enjoying it tonight. Thank you very much.
This next one's for you, Mr. Father Christmas, Farmer O'Coy.
Tony,
This next one, he's looking for one of these. I know he is.
Yeah. Tony, evening, mate. So, Odocan Shower. A real good piece, in my opinion.
Yeah.
25 cm long toad's eye. Its body is very good. It's got a very good profile. The bit I want you to look at is the sides of the head and how round that big mouth is.
Yeah.
That is the start of how
Jack's
you're
rating 100 quid.
How big it's going to get, because it will shovel food down there quick. One thing that stands out on this fish to me is its eyes.
Yeah, you literally just took that from him, mate. Its eyes are popping out there.
They look absolutely mental. Shiroji, again, good standard. It would definitely be a lot better in someone else's pond. This has been indoors since May, so it will benefit from a bit more UV than what we give it. That will help the Benny development really pop. The Benny is a very good quality. You can see the pigment that's laying inside the actual scale, and the Sumi has still got quite some work to do. It will really thicken up and solidify across this fish. I think it will even overtake the Benny markings that you're seeing in small succession just behind that right eye. I think that the Sumi will really overgrow that. The Benny will thicken up and it will solidify again, and that for me is where this fish really does balance itself. What I particularly like is the streaks of Sumi through the tail. I think that really makes this fish look really good, because the tail fin is like a massive rudder on this.
It's brilliant white lips on it, and all though that brilliant white lips,
Yeah.
but with the black barbels that makes it stand out on its head. It's definitely going to be a fish you notice when it comes up to feed.
So I just had Dale Salter, what's the lowest temperature will the tabs go to, Crafty? Right, I'm happy to deliver any sort of temperature like we've got experience today. 4
I think
degrees.
he means for in general, not for moving. As in, what temperatures can they go to?
Oh,
in your
for
ponds?
delivery, or just in general? Oh no, mate. These fish will live in a pond throughout winter. What you will find is that in ponds that are too cold because they're too shallow, they will park their asses on the floor like parked aircraft. You may even see them like shut off a little bit and start falling onto their side. All right, that is them really slowing down all of the internal organs. Okay, some people last year rang me, said that their fish had died and they've thrown them away during the cold spell. You have got to really look and see whether or not the fish is dead, because they can get that cold that they look dead, but they're not. They're just going into a mental hibernation state where it really closes the internals down, but they're surviving. Come the warmer, couple more temperatures degree lift, these fish can start to bounce back really quickly and recover. So really you should be looking at 4 foot of water, although be it they can. My pond before I built my new one was 2 foot at its deepest, you know, and they survive well in that. You've just got to look after your koi and know what you're looking for. So, you know, they're not at risk wise at this time of the year. So this is with Jackson at 100 quid. Again, Odecan, up and come, well, not up and coming actually. One that is a young breeder starting to really make a headway into the world of shower. He really does specialise in his shower, and from what I've seen, the larger examples of his fish, they are excellent, and this is no exception to that. You know, we're looking here, what, 25 cm? It's a nice fish. Again, what you've got to remember is, guys, is I'm going to say this all the time because I want people to understand it. So repetition is a great learning tool. This fish, what you've got to do is trust the process. There's no fish out there. That at this age is super finished. If it is super finished, that is more of a show fish at a small size. Okay, these fish here, when you start to see them get to 50, 60, 70, 80 cm, which they're capable of, that is when you're going to see these fish at their best. And that is what experiencing and enjoying koi is all about. Watching the development, learning what they do, and seeing what you end up with. For me, I quite like the guessing game. You know, looking and trying to read the fish to see what happens with it. You know, no one can necessarily get it all right, but you can get it almost right. Probably 90% of the time once you start training your brain. One thing that I'm surprised no one's picked up on is the Motogoro. If you look
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, if you look at the quality of the Motogoro in the fin, and I'm going to say fin because one's more developed than the other, but you will see that there is sumi just starting to appear in that left pec. It's a tiny little speck, and that is all you need, right, for that to start to develop. So either an early bloomer or a late bloomer. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate your bidding, mate. So that Motogoro will come, and it'll come in time, and it'll balance this fish. So if there's nobody interested, we'll keep it. I'll call this a go.
Yes, they do, mate.
Right, we deliver all over the UK, mate. We have got 3 couriers. I'm still working on trying to get to Ireland, to be honest, but with the amount of stuff that's going on in the shop, it's sort of in the back burner at the moment. So
Gary Robson, 160.
Gary was in the shop earlier, and I could see you, Gary.
Jack, 170.
So just bring the question up again for us. Currently at 170 with Jack then. So with a 3 foot deep pond, would they survive through winter, safe the temperature? Yeah, easily, mate. Absolutely no problem at all. All you got to do, mate, is keep an eye on your pond at that temperature. Make sure you've got some moving water. but make sure you keep on top of the ice. That's all I'm going to say.
Back at you, Mr. Robson.
Gary, you know this fish is worth it.
180.
Odocan, again, young breeder, showing his way in the koi world, which is not easy to do.
Jack at 200.
Yeah, Jack's got a good eye. He's bought quite a few decent fish off me this year.
It's a nice fish, this guys. This should be going more than 200 quid.
Shiroji is real good quality on this fish. You know, you can see that the skin in this fish, you know, it's thick, it's there.
210, Mr. Rob.
Well done, Gary. Come on, Jack, mate. This needs to, you know, either or. I know both you two really look after your fish as well. So,
yeah.
You know, and I know that
nice
I know where these fish go as well. So, Joe Mitchell's having a spy. Easy, Joe. You right, mate? Thank you for joining us. Nice profile picture. But I did expect
250 from Jack.
A cargo there. Size of this fish, mate, Wads is 25 cm. If you look down at the bottom, scrolling across the bottom there, you will see all of the information. Chris, that is the worst excuse I've ever heard not to bid on a fish.
Very nice, but have 4.
You may have 4, but you
should always have an odd number in your pond.
There you go. Me and Gaz know. It's a really nice koi. I agree, Wads, it is, mate. So, with Jack, don't let it go for that extra $5, Gary. That's all you're looking for. £5 increment. You don't have to do tens.
Don't let the picture intimidate you. Jack.
Remember, again, guys, I'm going to say it again, you know, repetition. I do apologise, but Gary's out. Well done, Jack. So,
well done, Jack.
Not going to harp on. So, people say I like the sound of my own voice, but I'm selling fish. You know? Don't want to sit here in silence. I could put.
It's going to be a nice one, is that?
Oh, mate.
It's good body on that fish.
You know what's good for as well? Jack's quite a regular down my shop, so I know full well I'm going to see where that goes.
Yeah.
So, super happy. Good work there, Jack, mate. You've got yourself a...
I tell you what we should do. How about this for an idea? Come 12 months' time, the first 6 auctions, well, let's see if we can possibly get these gentlemen and ladies to share these fish with us on the Thursday Night Live.
Oh, yeah, let's do that, guys.
So we can see just what they become and how well they do develop, so we know if what we're saying is in the right direction. Nice one, Jack. Nice fish, that, mate.
Yeah, clearly got some nice support there, Jack. You know, for me, mate, I think that, you know, I'm surprised that went more than what that Kahaku did. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm surprised that that Kahaku didn't run in the similar sort of direction.
Yeah, but you know, it's like
nice 2-step is what everybody wants. Just simplistic, banging fish, nice quality, 2-step. You can't really go for anything better. That ticked all the boxes, didn't it? Really,
mate. Yeah, you know, for a shower, what I've learned from the
Sorry, Hazel.
Hazel just said, "Don't leave the ladies." Hazel, I don't leave the ladies out, darling.
I meant guys in unisex. Look it
Boys
up.
and girls,
That's what it means.
What
Guys
I've learned
with an
about
S.
the shop this year, mate, is when you get Tozai in that are young, you don't see a lot of they're not at their best when they're really young Tozai. You know, towards the end of the season, when they've started to body out and the patterns are starting to develop, you start to really see some of them hidden gems that have been overlooked because the Zoom is well down, the Ben is probably not as strong as it should be because it's just not developed enough. And there's a few down at the shop even now that go in for a reasonable price that have been overlooked because they're late bloomers.
Because of late bloomers, yeah.
And, you know, I'm quite happy with that because it means that the stock that has been left is actually turning to be real decent stock.
Yeah.
You know? And it means I can take a load home at the end of the season and not live for the drinks, so to speak. But, so I'll put this one on. Gazzy's live on Thursday.
Oh, this is nice.
So moving into another little banger for the evening. Omasako, 26 centimetre toes eye, starting bid 80 quick, guys. And I don't need to tell you who Omasako is, but for those of you that don't know, he is the best Shiro at soaring breeder on the planet, in my opinion.
80 quid from Jigs, 90 from Wad, straight out.
If you don't believe me, go onto his webpage.
100 from
He has got all of the fish that he has won with over the years on one of the tabs on his own webpage in Japan. And there is award after award after award after award. So
for me, this I would like to see this. This could quite easily just sit there as young Tosai, show fish like that as it is, and it's a banger. That
totally right, mate. You know, and the one thing to look up on this, guys, and the reason why you're saying that now is because the sumi pattern or the sumi quality in this fish is
already showing, isn't it?
Booming, mate. It is so thick that is only going to get stronger as this fish gets bigger. You know, colour will layer and layer and layer and layer. And if it's at this quality, so young, imagine what it's going to be like in 3 years' time when that fish is really matured. The balance is excellent through this fish.
150 from David.
The balance in is absolutely excellent, mate. There's no one patch on this fish.
Rick liked this as well, didn't he, on Thursday night? He said this were a nice fish.
He did, mate. Yeah, and it's got everything. Now, I'm gonna reference what happened on Rick's live. If you didn't see it on what day are we on today? Saturday. When was it? Wednesday night. He bought a Shiro up that he bought that showed no head pattern, and all these people that say they're out. Okay, you may want to reconsider because
that's going to come up from the tip of that nose through and across and into that. That's going to look banging. I
would bet that the memoir. So the memoir is the black sort of pattern that comes across the face,
like a Y or a cross or whatever.
Yeah, or a lightning strike, whatever people want. Right, is going to happen on this fish. If you look on the tip of the nose, you will see there is underlying sumi. If you look in between the eyes, there's also a patch of underlying sumi. I pretty much would guarantee that this fish will have a memoir to die for in another year or 2 years' time. Right, again, I'm going to say it. Trust the process. 160 is too cheap for an Omasako Shiro at soaring of this quality. Shiroji is excellent. The body is excellent. The head is big. The backbone is there. You can already see how high that backbone is with that around just behind the head. And the profile.
Pecs and tail perfect in proportion with its length of its body now. It just looks cock on, doesn't it?
I think this fish is going to get a decent size.
Yeah.
When you look at the peduncle, which is in the tail tube, it's not over fat, it's well fleshy. And it's got enough meat in there to see when that fish gains another 30, 40 cm. If you can imagine that is going to be an inch thick. You can see it already.
If you look just as it goes round the back of the left eye and onto the gill plate on the right hand side, you can see that colour is going to carry on and come through, and then it's going to come down that nose and into the tip of its nose. It's just going to look mint. It's going to almost look like a perfect cross running through its head.
I think so. But the other thing to look at here is if you look particularly on the back of this fish, how black it is, right? But just to the, like where the head pack comes round over the head, right? You've then got that sashi of that underlying sumi. When that really comes and tightens up and starts to come through the skin, just think that's another layer of sumi that's already going over that ink black sumi pattern.
Yeah.
That is just going to really intensify. Shiroji is excellent on a young fish. Again, that is only going to get better as the skin thickens. And if you don't have that forward vision of where this fish is going to be at 70, 80 cm,
Dibs, Jeff.
oh mate, yeah, dibs.
I'm getting that one in first before anybody else does. I expect to see, if Jeff takes this fish, I expect to see this pushing 45 come next season. 50.
What are we on at the minute?
Easily.
6. Mate, you could do 52, 53 cm in a heated pond with a well-fed pond.
Yeah. He's already thrown a kilo in a day.
Yeah.
Oh, David's in there for a 170. Come on, Jeff. This is a good fish, mate.
It's still too cheap at that, guys, as well. You know, I'm not saying bid. It's still too. The quality of this fish is exceptional. You know, again,
Mr. Tate, what do you think to this one?
if you're still watching,
Being one of your favourites.
he may not comment, but I already know that, you know, speaking to Al on lots of different things that I do, I already know what I'm looking at here, and I really think that it's not show ready yet. 2 years time in the right pond of people that understand how to body their fish out, grow them and condition them. This fish can definitely be a show fish and a winner in a show as well.
Didn't we have what we're saying here? Because we did have a jack that said I'm out, but now it's come back in with a 200 bid.
David,
I'll let you decide on that one, mate. I'm just.
No, that's right. No, he's in. No, he can come back in, mate. Anyone can come back in. But
David just got tipped with a 119, Jack beating with a 200. Go on, David. Go for it again.
Motokoru's in the fins already. You know, again, that shows how good this fish is.
There, Wadsko, you can see the potential. It's a stunning, again, mate. It is, mate. This is going to be a nice fish. This really will be a nice fish.
If I'd have kept this fish on, Gaz, right, put it in a growing pond, right, and then brought it back out again next year, I probably could have charged
350,
750 to 800 all day.
Oh my God! And you'd have got it then, yeah?
100%.
That price all day long.
Because I see the potential in the fish, mate. You know, and this is where when you're growing, like when you're buying fish young, and I'm going to say it because I want people to really understand it, right? Look at what it is young. Look at where it's going to go, with a little bit of help from you and caring from you, right? You can develop that fish as long as you have that vision. Anyone that comes in my shop, I will talk them through what my expectations are. You know, based on my knowledge, I will say what's happening. If I know the parent sex and I've got an understanding of what that line has done, I will integrate that into what I expect this fish to do. You know, for me, the body frame on this fish at 26 cm is exceptional.
Yes, cock on, isn't it?
Yeah, and the colour palette in it as well is showing all of the quality early. You know, and that's what you expect to see from Omasaka. You know, who is the best breeder of Shirosaur in the world, and it shows.
This would really be, or will really be, an interesting fish to watch the development on it.
Yeah, I mean, I cast my mind back to when I put the Omasaka side-by-side variant in your live, where we'd seen the toe side,
exactly.
Bonsai. Just the difference on how white the Shirojikam, how black the Sumi is, and how it tightened up, but also how it just slightly moved in the body as that body got longer and widened out. You know, this fish, it's got all of what I would love to see progress. You know, but if
for me, I would say for me that this, personally, I think this is the best fish at night.
Okay.
I like that, mate. That's really nice.
I personally think the last fish is a contender.
Yeah, I'd go with that too. Just the more you start looking at fish, you go through different types of fish that you're interested in, and I'm becoming quite more. The more I've seen what, you know, lives with New Forest Koi and Vince, the more I've seen that, you know what they look like at 3 and 4 year old, and the mint, they're stunning fish.
And that's what anybody that's developing their knowledge needs to do.
Yeah.
They need to look at where the fish are at 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
you know, rather than just what they're looking at now.
No.
To have an understanding of the development and the path that that fish may take, you know. If you're out, Dave, let me know, mate, and then I'll sell it to Jack unless there's anybody else. Like Jeff, I know that you can grow a fish, mate.
You can't grow fish, mate. You can grow them well. Yeah, I think what it is for me was I think I'm going more down the line of I have got a nice Becco, but I really would like to see the fish that I've bought, which is a Tosai now, develop in the way that I think it's going to go. And if it does what I think it's going to do, I'm going to end up with a nice one myself. But
Well, I didn't realise this actually. It's only by fluke. I've got a Sakai Shiro, I've got an Omasako Shiro, and I've got an NND Shiro. And I didn't realise I had all three.
Oh, 230 from Jeff, 226 from Dave, so you just got tipped.
It's worth a £5, Dave, if you want it, mate. It's worth that extra £5.
235 from Jack. David's out.
Okay, Jeff, if you want it, mate, 240, please, mate. Either or, I don't mind who gets this fish, Jack or Jeff. I know they both look after their fish. It's quite important. It's quite nice to sell fish to people. That,
Jeff, please, 240. Sorry,
that's
cutting you off, mate.
It's quite nice to be able to see where these fish go. And what I really thrive on is when a fish goes to somebody that really does love their fish. For me, I just know that's good. Unlucky Jack. So that's sold to Jeff, please, for 240 quid. Hell of a battle, and actually, I think well worth it. I think probably a little bit at the price for me, but that's where you win, mate. But I think that you got yourself I nearly swore then. A very nice fish for the money there, mate. Well done.
Well done, Jeff. Nice fish that, mate. I'm sure you're going to be pleased with that, especially this time next year.
I'm a little bit gel, mate. The more I've looked at this fish tonight,
it's good, isn't it?
The more it's grown on me. I nearly had a bit myself.
I like the Moto Guru in the pecs, and then the lines running through the tails as well. Just sets it off right for me.
The bit for me, mate.
Too late, Aaron. I already got the dibs in way back up there. Way back up there as soon as Jeff did.
It's the progress of the fish that I'm really looking forward to seeing on that. Especially the memoir.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice. That's gonna make that fish when the Saroji comes up on that head and that's
Sumi.
There you go.
When the Sumi.
No, I'm saying the white when the head thickens, because at the moment we've been young, it's a bit creamy coloured, isn't it? And when it turns nice and bright and white against that Sumi. Yeah, that's going to be good. Well done, Jeff, from Mr. Tate.
Yeah, I'll just put that up. That for me, mate, is the bit that I was saying about the progression. Learning how them fish go. Yeah. When you see that Sumi start to develop, I've got 3, like I said, only by fluke, but because they're all different breeders, I've noticed different little traits of what's happened with, how quick stuff develops on it. How it moves and tightens up as well, and you can't do that unless you've got them. And actually, that's the Shiro again by fluke. I've got 3 of, which is the most I've got of any variety in my pond. They look lovely, to be honest, mate.
I can now see, when you look at a good. When we came down to yours and we saw all those Kakus in that pond, and then you see when you go to shows and you see Shurutsuris all balled up together, I can see the real interest in a set piece pond.
Yes.
Because, man, they look good when they look good.
Yeah, Chris Taylor showing that he's got form. So on to the penultimate one of the night then.
This is the
So this is the opposite of the one that we showed last week. Okay, so Ikarashi, very high quality Akamatsuba,
yeah. Look at that patterning, man, on that.
23
Scalation's cock on.
23 centimeter. Again, guys, I'm going to say it, it's young, a very, very young fish. Do not be put off by what you are seeing on the head. Okay, that is because it's fairly transparent in the skin at the moment. Okay, so when you look at that, I'm going to speak about the head first, because what will happen is, as that skin develops, it will start to clear up and turn into one nice sort of colour. It's not going to be black. Let's just clear that up. It will be the same colour as what you're seeing between the nostrils. Okay, all the way up to behind, to where the head transitions into the shoulders. The other part that you're going to look at on this fish is the scalation. For a young fish, it is bob on.
Yeah, it's nice, neat rows like that.
At the moment, it looks fairly dark, and that is because all the scales are so small and compact. When this fish grows longer and starts to get more body on it, and the scales get bigger, the net pattern that you can see on there now intensifies, and then a fukurin will start to develop. So fukurin you should expect to see around the end of 2 into 3 years of age, and that is when these fish come into their own. The reason why it started at £125, guys, is because this fish is hard to get hold of in the quality that it is, and it's worth £125 as a starting bid every day of the week. Its profile, when you see as it comes round now, when the camera comes over the top, I want you to really focus on the body line. Okay, when we say the body line, that is that you're looking at the fish from the top and how it transfers. It has got a gradual taper going into the tail. It doesn't dip in and then start to go out.
There you go.
It is absolutely stunning. So £125 starting bid. And the reason why it's been up that is it's a different fish. They're not easy to get of a very good quality like this one. And that is why I'm asking for a starting price on that.
Cheeky starting bid, 80 quid. Good luck.
Can't accept 80 quid, mate. It's not 125, mate. I do apologise once, but 125. If I don't get 125, I've got no problem in putting this back in the ponds and either selling it from the pond at the price that I'll be asking.
Let it develop a little bit longer and then watch everybody fight over it.
You know. Just so you know, guys, all right, I'll give you a hint. This fish is £250 in the pond, and that is the quality it goes for. All right, so at the moment, it's half price.
Mr. Lee's 125.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm losing money at that price. But I'm prepared to lose money if you're prepared to put the bid in. But you know, I'm asking $250 in the shop for this. So at the moment, it's at 50% reduction, which means I'm going to get my ass kicked again after last week when you guys robbed me.
I did see the beginning of that as well.
So 125 for Jeff. Akamatsuba then. One of 3 varieties. You can get your Gin Matsuba, which is the variant that we showed at the beginning of the show. Silver and black. This is red and black. And then you also get Ki Matsuba, which is the yellow one.
Yellow one, yeah. The yellow ones are mint out there.
Yeah, they take time.
But again, rarer again out there. There's very few of them about.
Right, here we go. If you throw colour food at this fish, Gaz, what is going to happen to the colour on this fish?
It's going to go red, like a cherry.
It is. Again, young fish, still a lot of work to do. Trust the process, understand where it's going. Colour food in that will really make the pigment explode in this fish. And what you are looking at in what is, I'm going to say orange, just for the ease of explanation, the orange is just going to start to really build. Again, colours in fish, they start to develop by layers. So the more colour food you give, the more layers that come, the stronger pigmentation from the spirulina that's in the food. It's only going to really help develop it as that skin thickens.
And as that all develops, it's all going to develop around that black robing pattern on top of it.
Mate, yeah. Really, what I might do on the next one is have a couple of pictures of fully developed fish.
Yeah, so you can see a comparison of...
Yeah, did I share one the other night with you? I'm not sure. Let's see if I can get one up on here. There you go.
There you go.
There you go, guys. Okay. Right, that is what you can expect from that. So look at how the darkness across the back of the actual fish, what happens when it starts to grow. You can see the body line, the way the scales change direction just before the actual dorsal fin. Okay, that is what you can expect. Look at the head. All right, the same will happen on this fish. At the moment, it's young, which means its skin is not fully developed, so therefore the colours are developed. For 125 quid, Jeff is spanking me.
He is. I mean, we've tried, me and Daz, with some of these, and out of 50 or 60 of them, every one of them turned to crap. Way younger than that fish in size wise. You know, they all just turned dirty on all the benny everywhere. It all turned mucky all over it and speckled. There's not a single speckle on this anywhere, is there? Clean.
No, I mean, not for the money, mate. It commands it. And just to come back to ANC, Coy, not hoping at all. These fish have got every possibility to get to a decent size with a decent. The body frame on this fish will command that at some size. It's up to you as a koi keeper to do. If you don't feed your fish, you're not going to get that style that I've just put up on there. That all comes with feed and the right quality of food on a right temperament of how much you feed and how regular. Okay, so I'm not hoping, it's a possibility, but it's all down to the skill of the person that keeps the fish. You know, but anyway, it doesn't look like there's anybody else interested.
Nobody else interested at 125 for a...
So going once, looking for an extra fiver to steal this off of our Jeff. Again, going to a bloke that can grow fish. So Jeff, no pressure, mate. Let's go back to ANC Koi in a couple of years' time and show them what you've done with it. Going twice then.
Check out that whole thing it does with its eyes as well. Watch this. When it turns around and comes back this way, imagine every time you see that in your pond and it does that with its eyes. Watch this. Does like that double roll with its eyes.
Its eyes are mad. It's all over the place, the eyes. That's sold to Jeff for 125. Well done, mate. Look at the profile on that ANC. Tell me that can't get to some of the same body frame, the same frame. It can. If you can't see it, or you think just because it's not Dainichi or another top spec breed that it can't do that, then I would challenge you in thinking that you don't know what you're looking at. Well done, Jeff. Well done, mate. What's Koi in on that as well?
And I'm going to get to see what it does.
And Jeff can grow a fish.
He can, mate, yeah.
You know,
he's put 20 cm on fish in a season, which is pretty damn good going. And that was not heated. He's only been heated for the last month, 2 months max.
It's brilliant. Right, on to the one that I've really been looking forward to.
Oh, this is good, mate. This is nice. I like this too.
This
Sorry, I
is,
forgot this one. Only like this might be the best one of the night.
this is a
It's a beautiful Sankey that.
right. So on top of the weird and wonderful, Sankey is my number one fish.
Yeah, I'm starting to appreciate them a lot more, mate, when you see stuff like this.
This is from Sakai, from their Dragon Ball lineage. It is actually Tozai. Harry, make sure you give me a kick in the arse, mate. Oh, look at you with your onion rings. Make sure you give me a kick in the arse and getting these ages right, guys. This is a Tozai. Okay, Dragon Ball line, extremely difficult to get hold of this season.
Koido, definite birthday present.
10. Just 10 this season. I had to pay through my arse to get them as well. Okay. Handpicked by me. The reason why I went for this fish is because it's got everything for it. Okay. Before I go over what the Dragon Ball is all about, I'm just going to break down the pattern and then where Dragon Ball can go, because I'll go over where they can go in a minute. So Kuchibeni on this is ridiculously mental. Looks great. It's got a 3-step pattern.
Kaku pattern, yeah.
Right. Now, that isn't required in Sankey or Showa. However, when you get it and you get the sumi in the right places, for me, extremely traditional, looks banging. You've got the Subo sumi in there, and the sumi is only just really started to show its quality. So, as a Tozai, Dragon Ball, these are in their 3rd generation. This is the 1st generation that has been pushed to public. And the reason for that is that Sakai have tried to develop a line where the sumi it shows its quality and keeps its quality earlier. Now, the sumi, which is black for wheels koi, that is in the skin, it is jet black, and you can see the small areas where this is coming. You've got the sumi in the white skin, in the red scale, and overlapping both, which is extremely sought after.
Yeah.
The size that you can get these to, and they can get to 90 cm. I'm not saying that this fish will get to 90 cm, but they can get to 90 cm. Right, looking at the bloodlines that they come from. So,
I'm blown away, mate. I thought this would be going boom, 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 boom straight away on that.
Again, mate, I'm having the pants pulled down if Michael Thompson takes this for £100. Do us a favour, Harry. Just do a defender on the last comment, mate, please. Steve Lane in at 110. He knows his fish. Come on, guys. What are you saying other than tasting onion rings?
Mate, this is mint. It's yeah. I mean, what more can you say than everything you've just said, mate? It's perfect, isn't it? For a Sankey, this would be, if I was to go pick a Sankey, that would be everything I would be looking for. A nice Kahaku pattern, the minimalist sumi coming up in nicely placed. It couldn't be any better, could it? It's cock on. The Kuchibeni on it looks absolutely mint. His lips stand out somewhat rotten, and it's mate.
Okay, let's go into technicalities. Okay.
The head shape and the broad width of the head. You can already see it at 26 cm developing its shoulders. It's got a nice, thick, strong backbone to it. Big, broad, wide head. Big, thick peduncle all the way down. It don't go skinny. It stays nice and thick all the way through.
Well done, mate.
Big tail. Lovely, nice shaped pecs. Leading rays are perfect. Nice. Cock on. It is and is going to be an absolute beautiful fish.
Okay. Remember also what I said time and time again, and I will repeat it.
Again, as it does that, and it moves up and it opens up, and that Benny patch spreads out, it's going to be the perfect fish from viewing from above.
Okay, so let's look at the Benny plate first and foremost, okay? Because let's break this fish down into 3 colours. Shiroji, Benny plate, Sumi. Okay, we'll start with the Benny plate, right? The leading edge, i.e. the Benny plate on the edge of the head, okay, you've got sashi. What you're looking for in sashi is a consistency of what looks like a shadowy colour of the actual Benny. What that shows is that there is colour deep in the skin, okay? It may completely contract and tighten up, and then as that fish gets older, that may disappear. If it doesn't, the fish is already showing you where the sashi will stay. The fact is, the sashi should be no more than 2 scales deep, and it should be consistent around the pattern. That shows high quality, even in a bigger fish that doesn't lose its sashi. So therefore, the quality says very, very high quality on the Benny plate for the leading edge of that colour. When you look at the back end of the scale, the one that is pointing towards the tail end, you're then going to start looking at the kiwa. So the kiwa is what follows the colour that follows the scale. Okay, 3 types of kiwa. You've got the escallop version. You have got one that cuts through the scale and doesn't follow the scale, and you've got a mixture of the 2. What you have to do is have an understanding of what happens with the colour in the kiwa pattern. Okay, this kahaku pattern on the Benny plate has got, if you can see how it follows the scale around 90%. That again shows very high quality. Okay, that's just the Benny plate. The other part is that you've got Kucha Benny, red on the lips. You've got the Benny first stand comes over the head, which qualifies it for a Sankey. And then you have got 3 steps, which adds balance of equal measure on both sides of the fish, all the way through that fish. Again, very, very high quality.
You're saying there, it's the white fins that make it for me. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay white. This is only a...
It won't stay white.
This is only a tosai. This is only young. It should get individual strands coming through it and just picking out. You can see it's already developing in the tail. That should pick up in both the left and right front pecs.
It certainly will be there. Certainly will. Time will bring that, without a shadow of doubt. It will come. You're looking at something called...
what's it called? I've forgotten. It's not... It's
not... If I've said it correctly. But what you get is black streaks running between the rays. Now, what you're looking for in a Sankey is odds. 1 even, 1 odd.
Yeah, so 2 to one side, 3 to one side, 2 of the other, whichever it is. It should. That's how it should be, shouldn't it?
That is top quality.
Yeah.
Okay? Shiroji in this fish is absolutely top quality. It is consistent. It's strong on a young fish. It's nowhere near fully developed. But if you look how white that is on a young fish, imagine when that fish gets older and more layers form across the top, and that white really starts to strengthen. Looking at the Benny plate, when you throw loads of colour food in it, that Benny's going to get stronger. That is really going to complement itself.
You can see that this Sumi is quite a recent development. There's only 1 patch to the middle of the first patch of Benny that looks like has been there slightly longer. The rest of it is all new stuff that's up and coming, and you can see more coming further back down the actual there, just between. You can see that there's going to be more come up there just before the dorsal to the left hand side. It's got a little bit that's got to come in behind the back of the dorsal, so there's going to be that nice little break up of patterning coming through it.
Totally, mate. I mean, I'm going to move on to the bit now that makes the fish for me, and that is the Sumi.
I think the lips, the Kuchi Benny on that's perfect. It's
really good. Under the Benny plate. The Sumi placement on this fish. So those people that are still interested, pin these back, because trying to get Sumi placement like this on a Sankey
way back through it.
is so difficult. You have got the sumi in the belly, you've got the sumi overlapping the belly into the shiroji, and you've got the sumi on the white skin, the subo sumi. All right, getting all three of them on the fish is one hard feat for any breeder. Secondly, where the sumi placement is also what does it for me.
Yeah.
You are going to get more sumi than what you can see at the moment, and there isn't, when you're looking at a pattern on a fish, especially on a Sankey, you're going to break it down into three thirds, slicing it behind the head and halfway down the tail. So you've got three sections. You should have, in order to balance that pattern, sumi in every single
and it has.
But it's where the sumi sits in each one of those portions.
Yeah.
You have got all three types of sumi.
Complete opposite steps as it goes back and all the way through its body, doesn't it?
And that is why this fish was kept for auction. Again, I've probably put it in the wrong time of the year.
Yeah, right? This might have been a better fish coming up banging into summer when it were gone through winter and had that little bit more development.
I really reckon that if we was hitting this in the summer, I would get 400 notes for this fish.
Yeah.
I'm not taking away from anything that people are putting in tonight, guys. I'm really not. But I want people to really understand this fish. Whoever buys it, you have got an exceptional quality piece here, in my opinion. A Sakai, right? So let's look at how big it's going to get. Look at the body frame. Look at the head, first and foremost. How big that head is, and the quality in the colour, right? That, to me, on its own, is spectacular. That skull will grow with the fish, and the rest of the skeleton grows with that fish. Okay, and that is, as that skeleton develops and widens out. Let's have a look at the pattern. The body frame behind the head. It will start to really widen up. And when that happens, that Benny, the shiroji again, will come into the top of the picture, and it will cut in more, which will only add to the quality of this fish. Looking down, like you said earlier, the profile, there's not too much flesh in the peduncle, right? It is at the right proportion, which says to me that this fish, body shape-wise, will be immense. But it looks like...
To be fair, mate, I'm going to say this, to be honest, most of the fish, well, all of the fish, Tamasabas, slightly different, but have all had really perfect body shapes to them. They've all been good bodies on them. Tamasabas are a little bit different, aren't they? They're kind of
one thing that Alan Tate has really drummed into me is body shape.
Yeah,
body shape, skin, development pattern.
That's it. That's the one.
Right?
Tell me the same.
And I love Alan for everything that he's taught me. And I know I'll give him grief, but much respect. So this fish is sold to Double Ryukin. Best name of the night, best fish of the night, in my opinion. And going for really cheap money. Well done to you, mate. I would really love to see what happens with this fish, man.
Yeah, me too. Again, mate, if anybody that has been on tonight is interested and would do, I do. Oh, Gary Robson for 220. Too late, Mr. Robson.
Oh, Gary's too late,
you
mate.
Just a bit too slow with a sniper shot. I really would like to see what. I mean, if you're up for that, mate, and you fancy it, I mean, could do it one night or maybe a couple of nights, well, a few weeks, and then miss a week and do another one, and actually get to see what these fish look like and progress and how they do come on in the future. Some of them I'm going to get to see anyway, but...
Go big screen, Harry, please, dude. There we go. I can see you now, guys. You don't just look
you can watch me eat my chips now, then.
It's what I want to say, guys, is again, great night. I'll tell you what, I always think when these auctions come about, at the beginning of the night, I'm like, I wonder how we're going to turn out. And all I can say is that these auctions don't run themselves. A lot of hard work goes in behind the scenes, but without you guys, it doesn't make it a success. You know,
100%.
I want to say thank you to every single one of you, whether you bidded or you didn't. I hope if you didn't bid, you take something away from the descriptive text that we
Like
give
Tama
you,
Saba.
including Tamasaba or whatever. I'm always learning, and I will always pass my knowledge over, guys, as much as I possibly can. And I want to say a special thank you to Gaz as well.
Thank you for having me again, mate. Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome, my friend.
Black
Again,
Friday.
the shop is Perfect Aquatics. I love this place to pieces. I'm so grateful that I managed to get a move here. It really, really is banging. We are doing loads of stuff. I want you to keep involved. We've currently got Black Friday offers on, as you're seeing on the screen. So if you want to take advantage of anything there, then www.perfectaquatics.com. Also, there are some discount codes from Gaz's Koi Pond
Yes,
Light.
there are.
So
on all my videos, there will be shared a little discount code link for you to get an extra bit of discount from this gentleman on top of his Black
you
Friday
must be a
deal.
subscriber, guys. I will be checking. Okay, so on top of that, until what date is it going to be? Fortnight, just before Christmas. So,
Oh, let's see.
do.
Fortnight from now will be the 9th of December.
So we're going into the Christmas points. It's not going to stop. We're still going to be going. We're going to keep going and keep going, and hopefully we'll have
All these next fish will come with a little Santa hat.
Oh, also, when's the
The
challenge?
7th, yes, 7th of December, guys. If any of you are interested, we are doing Macmillan's Cancer Fund, Cancer Trust Fund auction and raffle on the 7th of December on my Thursday Night Live channel, GKP. If anybody's interested and would like to, you can pop to my channel and look at my community section, and you will find the link to make a contribution. £5 a ticket. You can buy as many tickets as you want. Each ticket that you purchase gives you one entry into the raffle of all the prizes that we've had donated and out there for everybody to win. And then we also have a Kajaku which has been supplied from New Forest Koi, one of his red Kajaku, and they are up for auction and up for a raffle as well. So there's a tree going, all sorts, you name it, guys. It's there.
An absolute brilliant cause. Get involved, guys. The Koi community is mint for doing that. So keep it up, guys. I want to thank everyone again. Keep your eyes peeled. Back in a fortnight. Love you lots, and those people that watch us on Thursday
Thank you very much for joining us, guys.
If not, I'll see you in a fortnight, guys. Stay safe, everybody.
Good night, all.